We're rolling. Oh, jeez, you always do this to me. Good gosh darn it, all the darn your pants. I know you don't wear pants. Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the comics coffee table. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pal. And join us. Pull up a chair at this comics coffee table. Yes. We're taking a break. We're leaving the real world problems over there just for a few minutes in our busy day. Pulling up a chair to our very own comics coffee table. Grabbing a cuppa, whatever it is we're shoving under our noses today there. It's pre-recorded, but live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals. The coffee table was always where my friends and I would congregate and shoot the breeze of whatever was going on. There would always be a stack of books. There would always be an overflowing ashtray. You know, we all smoked cigarettes back in the 20th century. There would always be a stack of movies, a stack of music, a stack of video games, and a stack of comic books. Stack of comic books. We were always trying to get each other to read and turn each other on to. And this is a geeky chill stream. It is. It's basically we are rebagging, reboarding, and reboxing my entire collection. And along the way, I've been wrapping my head around grading. And also how much my collection might be worth. Don't you think that too? Like, hey, I wonder how much all these funny books are really worth, you know? So I got these two books this year. We got the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide and the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. These are industry standards, and they're invaluable, and they should be a part of your comics collection. You can find links to both of these in the description where you can get your own copy. But better yet, you can ask your local comic book shop if they can get you a copy and spend your money there. We are a geeky chill stream, and we're dedicated to the proposition that all comic books are worth reading. Well, no, we are a geeky chill stream, and we are dedicated to the proposition that all comic book shops deserve your patronage and deserve your spending money, whatever you allot yourself for your addiction, your hobby. And this is a great little, like I said, a geeky chill stream. We try not to get too outragey. It happens here and there. I have feelings. They get hurt. I have tastes. They get insulted. I have money. It gets wasted. But I have an executive producer who writes the show notes. I have a cameraman and a microphone boom operator, and I have the studio audience, the stuffed animals. My parents, by the way, got me the Overstreet guides for Christmas last year. So this year is dedicated to my parents, my mom and my stepdad. Thank you very much. I love you. And that's how we start off the show. We are trying to return back to our usual programming schedule. I took August off. I wanted to. I hit the wall when it came to being a content creator, and it happens. It does. And so, yeah, let's get to it. I'm backed up on comics to bag, board, and box. While we are talking about it, it's the mission of this show to create awareness, to say, hey, you there, you have a local comic book shop in your area. You should. And if you don't, hey, I can totally hook you up with someone that can, just pay attention. But I think it's more important to be buying our supplies at your local comic book shop, your LCS, your local comics shop, and not to just get your books there and your trade paperbacks. I could be saving money buying these supplies at on my online supply chain or a big box store, but how is that helping keeping the lights on, the rent paid, the invoices flowing, and the wages, at your local comic book shop? This is important to us because it's it's the direct market. The local comic shop is a very important place to us. It's where our dreams are kept when we're not reading them, and that's where they come out. Now there's the digital market, and then there's online supply chains, but our local comic book shops need our support. So I am getting my boards, my bags, and my boxes at the LCS. I could be saving some money, on the online supply chain, but I am agreeing to pay the retail markup because it helps keep them open. Because when these stores close and they're gone, they're gone. And that would be the direct market's changing. It's the 21st century, and we have to expect changes in our beloved hobby. It's going to happen. So let's enjoy this while we can, that's the spiel. Every time I've gone to the store, the comic book shop, I've been getting a short. I'm getting long. Instead of getting long boxes, I'm getting short boxes. The older I get, the heavier these full long boxes get. I weighed myself with holding a full long box, and the bloody thing weighed about 50 pounds. Yes, and be nicer to yourself. And I'm going to. So all my old boxes, they're over a decade old, going on 2 decades now. They have served their purpose. They've protected the contents. So let's honor them by giving them a new home, a smaller box. It's more manageable by weight, and recycle the old boxes. They're all over there, being surrounded by funnies. But yeah, I'm going to ease into the show. We're going to just, take it as it comes and do this for as long as we can. I love talking to you guys. This comic book shop style conversation that we've been doing since last year. We did 564 consecutive days of daily content. And then I came to, I hit the wall. And I think I lost some of my audience too. A little bit, not much. I'm so happy and pleased that you guys stuck with it, and we've been doing like a twice a week show. We've been doing a longer Sunday show, which I think is working. And I might keep to that. A friend of mine in my circles has been sharing their digital copies with me, and it's really nice. I've been turned on and reading a lot of different comic books. And so I've got a lot to review on a Sunday now. And so we can fill up an hour or more worth of show. Let's do it. But the weekly show hopefully will remain about the same. So I don't have anything to bag, board, and box today. But what I do have is, and I'll leave you'll find the link to the show over here at the end of the show. But fellow YouTube creator Brandon Pops Jones had me on his channel recently, and we had a comic books talk, and then we talked about life as a YouTube creator and about And it was a lot to do with positivity, and it's a lot to do with about spirituality. And it was a really good, it was a time well spent hanging out with a fellow YouTuber and friend, and making good content for for the people that need to hear it. So Pop surprised me, and he knows I have a weakness for Marvel comics of a certain era. And we're both geezers. We're both Bronze Age babies. So he sent me a care package. He did. He said, I'm going to send you these comics. And well, what he did was he sent me a bunch of comics. He sent me a stack of Funnybooks. Ha 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 ha! Yes! Ain't that cool? So let's go. Today we're just going to show you what did Pops send to good old Sully. Reverend Sully, ordained on the internet. That's right. Oh, let me straighten up. This Cylon is always trying to waggle. Maybe it's because it's Starbuck and Apollo flying it. That's an old joke. Yeah, I'm not looking at Twitter or X while I'm doing the show. No. Let's get to it. A bunch of these comics I've read, I've seen, and this is great because these are a couple of Bronze Age books, a couple of Copper Age books, and one modern book. Okay, here's something. I always like talking about this. I got these definitions from the glossary and the Overstreet Price Guide. It's actually the reason why I bought the Overstreet Price Guide in the first place. And because here in the glossary, we're given the ages of comic books. There's the Victorian, there's the Pioneer Age, there's the Victorian Age, there's the Platinum Age, there's the Golden Age, the Atom Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, the Copper Age, and then the Modern Age. And now you don't have to agree with their definitions, but you do have to respect and accept that they are industry standards, and that most of everyone around you is talking about the comics and of certain years, of certain ages, in these terms. I'm blessed and grateful to be able to talk to comics creator Mark Millar, the mad Scotsman. Yeah. This is the glossary in the back of your Overstreet Price Guide. Yeah, and it's an industry standard. But Mark Millar was saying that, ages basically go for about 20 years, a generation. And I like his definition. He goes from and I kind of accept his personal definition is closer to my personal definition. It goes from a golden age to the silver age to the bronze age to a dark age. And then after the dark age, I feel comes a millennial age, a millennium age. And now we're in a newer age, a postmodern age where or a digital age, or sometimes as a romantic, I want to say we are in the quantum age of comics, with digital inking, digital line work, digital marketplace. Is digital replacing print? Yes, in a way, they really are. And is print going the way of the Macarena and of cassettes, and the print media will go the way of vinyl records, in a way, if we want to compare the music medium to the print medium. I feel there will always be niche boutiques for our hobby, but the direct market, as we know, is changing. So yeah, but let's see, Atom Age. See that? Comics published between from 1946 to 1956. Now, most people don't use that. They just extend the golden age from 1938 to 1955. Or is it 1930? You know, yeah, because the Platinum Age, comics published from 1883 to 1938. See, the Golden Age of comics. We learned this last year too with that nice daily comic book comic book book. The Golden Age runs from 1938 with the premiere of Superman in Action Comics #1. That starts the Golden Age. And it basically finishes around 1955 with the introduction of the Comics Code Authority seal of approval. And then in 1956, that's where the Silver Age officially starts. With October 1956, DC Comics Showcase #4, introducing the Silver Age, Barry Allen, the New Flash. A reboot, this is our terminology now, of the classic Golden Age Jay Garrick Flash character, the Speedster, the Mercury or Hermes of the Pantheon. You know? This is a great resource. Get your own copy. You can get an old copy too. I noticed there was the a hardcover edition of the 49th. That's the 52nd edition, the most current. I will be getting the 53rd upon its release later this year. Or is it already out? We should check it. Put that on the list. PTS. OTL, Pika. Put that on the list. I got neighbors. A darn good cup of coffee. Yeah, so we're gonna try to stick with the daily show as long as we can. I don't want to say it was a drag or a slog or it's just more of it comes down to organization. And I was on a summer break. I'm blessed and grateful that I'm a union chef. I'm a high school graduate with 1 year of finished college. I am a blue-collar tradesman. I am a professional line cook, a professional chef. And I work at a local Boston university, and I have for 15 years. And in that time, I've accrued seniority. And so I have my pick of billets, a pick of, we have something called a bid. These are the jobs that are available this year. What are you choosing? So I have second choice. And also, so when the summer comes, I can say I can say this year I said, no, I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna hang back and take the summer off. And I can collect unemployment too, which I did, and it all worked out and it was fine. Geez, I gained 15 pounds. I was supposed to have been a bit more active, and it didn't happen. I just chose to be blissful and rest my body, rest my mind and spirit. And part of that had to do with suspending the show, going on hiatus for August. And August is usually the most traditionally slowest month on YouTube, I gotta say. But hey, let's get Pops! Thank you! Thank you so very much. Pop sent me a grab bag of different comic books, and we're going to get into it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm so psyched. Oh, come on. Look at this. You know what we love looking at here? Our ads. The advertisements are a great way to, these are like, oh, wow, look at that. It's Ooze. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. That big-ass one that had the 4 players. And this is Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider from 1991. I would have been in high school. This is, this got no month. It just says, well, it's April on the cover. April of 1991. So this would have been published been on the shelf in January of 91. This is written by Roy and Dan Thomas. Chris Marianne is the penciler. Mark McKenna is the inker. Pat Brousseau is the letterer. George Rousseau is the colorist. Ralph Macchio is the editor. And the legendary joke is not to be confused with the Karate Kid. And this is in the Tom DeFalco, editor-in-chief days. And look, another video game ad. So the prime real estate on any magazine is the cover. And the back cover the inside cover and the inside back cover. Candy, junk food. I mean, just where have this is, and so never accept to be like, oh, comics don't know who they're making their comic books for today. That's just that's misleading. I don't agree to that. And this is great. I mean, this is just I would have been a senior in high school. I didn't get this one, but oh look, more video games. 1991. So this is a 32-year-old, almost 33-year-old funny book. Look, it's the Science Fiction Book Club. I was part of that too, weren't you? Didn't you get Fred Sabenhager's The Complete Book of Swords? Weren't you disappointed with the ending of that when it didn't land? I know I was. Baseball cards. That's so cool. Who was the baseball star there? The Rifleman, Sean Dunston. Todd Van Poppel. Gee. Huh? Now, I like to make fun of, like, we use the derisive term bisexual lighting to refer to the ever-present purple color that's in comics. But this magenta color has been going on since the mid 80s, and just I want to get into color theory. I want to get into like the evolution of the print publication and color, because color was in the 1980s. All of our newspapers, our daily newspapers, were in black and white, and it was a big deal that the tabloid style one here, the Boston Herald, had a red header, like a trade dress. And then came something called USA Today, which was the nation's newspaper, and it was in color. But Ben Day dots in basic color. Look, TSR. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it's Silver Surfer for the Nintendo. More video game ads. What happened to advertisement? Well, ad rates. Oh, it's the ad rates. It's like, no, that's how you negotiate. And you're like, okay, well, I don't believe that comics don't know what their circulation is, or how many copies. They know darn well what their numbers are. They don't have to disclose that. It's like for your personal medical information, but on a business level. You don't have to disclose your medical history to anybody, and yeah, so that's Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider #1. That's awesome. And thank you, Pops, for sending me some funny books. That was really fun. We have the team up, or maybe the fight. We all know Suicide Squad. Oh wow! Look at this wraparound cover. So cool. That's art. Ostrander, Kuppenberg, Larson, and Lewis. So this is the late 80s Doom Patrol. This is plotted by John Ostrander, scripted by Paul Kuppenberg, penciled by Eric Larson. You might know him from Savage Dragon. Inked by Bob Lewis. Lettered by Steve Haney. And where's the indicia? The indicia colophon. Could it be on the back page then? Yeah, let's look. House ads. I always bag on house ads, but hey, there's always been house ads. A different kind of shadow, a different kind of nightmare. I was so into this shadow. I have the entire run of the late 80s run. I just completed it recently too. Politics have always been in comic books. Well, in a way, too, sure. That's President Reagan talking to Amanda Waller. Where is the indicia? The indicia is the small print on the bottom of the credits page where... Wow. Look, rockets red. Those are the Soviets, the Soviet Iron Men. And it's the Doom Patrol of the late 80s, right before Grant Morrison takes over. So this is from 1988 at least, and that's... Oh, here we go. I just think it's odd that I can't find the indicia here. Yeah. I mean, but just like... Good classic comic book. All right. Indeed. Wow. From Now Comics. Mr. T and the T-Force. Interesting. So this is from Now Comics from 1993. And it's written by Mike Barron. Drawn by Norm Brayfogle, who did a lot of Batman. Actually, my favorite Batman is drawn by Norm Brayfogle. It's got a great style. And the indicia, see, there we go, of it. The indicia of an independent comic book who got an interesting stable of properties. You got Green Hornet, which is classic pre-Golden Age. Twilight Zone. Married with Children. Married with Children 2099. Speed Racer. The Real Ghostbusters. I'm going to read this from, you guessed it, the Wiki. That's right. Now Comics was a comic book publisher founded in late 1985 by Tony C. Caputo. No relation, or maybe to our friend MC, who might or might not be out there right now watching the show. As a sole proprietorship during the 4 years after its founding, Now grew from a one-man operation to operating in 12 countries and published almost 1,000 comic books. The company was headquarters in the Chicago Loop in Chicago, Illinois, and most Now titles were the result of licensing arrangements with such companies such as Columbia Sony Pictures, Broadway Videos, ELP Communications, CBS Entertainment, Incorporated, Speed Racer Enterprises, and Leisure Concepts, resulting in titles like Vector, Mr. T and the T-Force, Speed Racer, the original Astro Boy, Alias, Terminator, The Burning Earth, The Real Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Fright Night, Married with Children, and The Green Hornet. They became defunct in 2006. And in 1993, Now and Malibu Eternity co-published the crossover series Ninja High School featuring Speed Racer. In 1994, the company ceased publishing after its January 95 releases, 6 months after Caputo left. And it was relaunched in 2003 and dissolved in 2006. So, yeah, hey, look, it's Al Bundy, it's Peggy, Kelly, and Bud. Ain't that funny? And, but yeah, it's just a classic, you know. Look, real Zipatone filters. You know, I'm always talking about the Zipatone filters used, the digital filters used in modern comics. But that right there, all those dots, that's real Zipatone. And it's used just to give you a little bit of, you know, variety for the backgrounds. But yeah, this is all hand-drawn. An old funny book. Ain't that cool? And look, all real onomatopoeia. Yeah. Memory Road, but yeah. Here's a twofer. I had this in high school. This issue of Batman. This is it, Batman in the Soviet Union. I think is that the KG Beast? I'm not sure, but this is written by Marv Wolfman. And one of my favorite Batman artists is Jim Aparo, inked by Mike DiCarlo. And this is just classic Batman. Look, it's Fabio. Yeah, Fabio. The Fabio of the romance covers. But it's a video game ad. This is from April of 1990. And this is in my wheelhouse of being a Batman fan. Remember, Tim Burton's Batman came out in 1989, so I'm a junior in high school, and this is just really good. Oh, here, more video game ads and baseball cards. Baseball cards were huge then too. This was the advent of the best Ninja Turtles movie, except no substitutes. I think this was Jim Henson's of the Muppets. That was his last, big project before he passed away. Dungeons and Dragons before everything went to hell. Or a dungeon. More video game ads. I'm just really loving this old Batman. It was just, no weirdness. Just all superhero storytelling. No lecturing. The Atari 7800. It went from the 2600 to the 5200 to the 7800. No backwards compatibility. Heck, my PlayStation lost that. I mean, just PlayStation 2 is great because it played all your PlayStation 1 games. Your PlayStation 4, you can get PS1 and 2, 3 games, but only digitally. It won't play your old media. This thing won't even play my old compact discs. Sorry. John Constantine Hellblazer, pre-Vertigo, March of 1991. So this came out December 1990. This is just good horror magazines. Flight of the Intruder. Look, video games. Lynx eats boy's lunch. I had a Game Boy. That was a great toy, man. That was a great little gadget. I played the heck out of Tetris, Castlevania. Hey, look. Now, today, we would derisively call this a gender swap, but that's Kent Nelson's wife, Inza, taking up the mantle of Dr. Fate. John Constantine. I've read every issue of Constantine, issues 1 through 200, twice over. Yeah, they're just it's all house ads in here. No junk food. Well, except for one video game ad and one movie ad. The rest are house ads for different DC comics. This is fun. This came out when I was a kid, about 12 years old. I didn't have this, but I had the Green Lantern action figure. I did. The Superpowers team. This is when the tonal change of my beloved old Alex Toth designed Super Friends Saturday morning cartoon changed gears in the early 80s. About this time, about 1984. This has a cover of November of 1985, when I'll turn 13 years old. And when I have to start aging out of toys and cartoons. Never did. Good thing I didn't. I mean, did I ever? You think? No, I didn't. This is look at the indicia. Superpowers issue 3 of 6. Copyright 1985. But dig this. This is art by Jack the King Kirby, inked by Greg Theakson, and edited by Andy Helfer. Andy Helfer, he wrote those. Andy Helfer was not just a pretty decent DC editor, but he wrote The Shadow after Howard Chaykin bailed on it, and those were some of my all-time favorite comic books, and I'm so blessed to have that entire run. But yeah, hey, look, snack food. Inside cover house ads. Look, snack food. Who is this aimed at? Well, this is aimed at kids. This is this is for the spinner rack. Well, comes from the direct market. You can tell because, the spinner rack newsstand version has the UPC code. But this is just oh, wow. Remember a transforming wristwatch. Because Transformers were huge. Plus, junk food. You guessed it. I love this art. This is kind of because it what happened in the early 1980s, President Ronald Reagan signed something that's known as the Strawberry Shortcake Bill, where television programming for kids no longer had to have an educational value and that they could support corporate products. So Strawberry Shortcake, I believe, was one of the first cartoons just as a commercial for a toy. And then we have G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man. The list goes on and on and on after that. Super Friends premiered in 1972 and wrapped up around this in 86 or so, around this superpowers era. But that's when the switch came from the mad scientist and the moral message to straight up just fighting Darkseid and his minions of Apocalypse, who were creations of Jack the King Kirby in his fourth world. So it's so good. Look at this delicious Kirby art. Oh, I'm in love. Thank you, Pops. Thank you so much. And I hope you're all having a great day. Look, own on video cassette, the Transformers, more than meets the eye. Starfire is getting married, but not to Nightwing. Look at that old Nightwing costume. Isn't that great? I love it. See, Starfire and Nightwing have been, well, they were an item when he was, when he was still Robin. It's awesome. We're going to wrap this up. Getting long in the tooth, but here we are. Just talking about comic books. On this geeky chill stream. This was a find. I love this. I love Power Girl. I got a crush on Power Girl. She's the Earth 2 Supergirl. Okay, she is she premiered in the mid 70s and one of the first comics I ever read, ever bought, and written by Jeff Johns, penciled by Amanda Connor, inked by Jimmy Palmiotti. It was such a great team. This was made in 2005, and this is part of Infinite Crisis. And I have a bunch of Infinite Crisis. I don't have this, and I am really happy to have this to go with the rest of that collection. Look, it's the Army. Dun dun, be all you can be. Mountain Dew. Video games. And Count Duckula. The vegetarian vampire duck. But here, okay, look, there's a great example right there. Onomatopoeia. A word that's spelled the way it sounds. A sound effect in a comic book. That is cut and paste. That is done digitally. So digital lettering and digital onomatopoeia have been around in comics for 20 plus years. So, I mean, I think I'm old man shouting at clouds when it comes to video game ads. In prime real estate at the that's digital lettering. And that's digital, onomatopoeia. Who did the letters here? Rob Lee. The original Star Wars Battlefront 2 that everyone raves about. I like the 2017 Star Wars Battlefront 2. I wasn't, ooh, Batman Begins. Buy it October 18th. Got milk? Well, don't say that to Power Girl. You might end up in you might get bundled. Oxy, yes, clean your face. That's right. Who is that? It's Dave Mira. He's a professional BMX bike rider in the bike riding craze. The days. So that's going with my Infinite Crisis collection. And now these two are the ones that Pops showed me on the show that he was sending me. This is great because I got a thing for the banner ad on the top of the Marvel comics of these early 80s comics. So this came out in 1980. This is Spectacular Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 46. Cover date September 1980. I would have been 7 years old. I did not get this one, but I gotta say, Mike Zeck drew these. This is Mike. Oh, we got bubblegum ads. This is Mike Zeck, who drew Kraven's Last Hunt. Mike Zeck, who did not draw a lot of Spider-Man, but overall is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. He drew a lot of. He drew the original Secret Wars. He drew a lot of Punisher. And this is Peter. He's out of he's a teaching assistant at Empire State University, helping teach science, and dealing with the whole Parker luck thing. This is just fun. Daisy BB guns. Prizes for cash. And here is the prize of the pick. This is the whole reason why Pop sent me this, because he had it. I offered to buy it off of him. He just straight out gave it to me, and now it has a home on my spinner rack with the rest of them. You know it, I know it. I am a sucker for the 1981 Columbia bike contest, and here it is. Thank you, Pops. Thank you so much. And look, this is a cover done by Frank Miller. Look at that Spider-Man. I love the thickness on the eyes and the small whites. Usually Frank Miller also draws toes on his Spider-Man. I've noticed that, but not here. He doesn't draw the interior art, but this is an extra thick special double-sized issue. 75 cents. From everything else at this time was going for 50 cents. And the price was about to go up the very next month to a 60-cent comic. So we got model car kits, advanced Lego kits, model car kits. Who makes that? Not small children. It's a little older children, though. The Beetle. Now, the Beetle is also the legacy character now, who is Tombstone's daughter. Prizes for cash. And I'm pretty sure there is a Hostess ad in here. There we go. The ubiquitous, nigh infinitely famous Hostess snack food, comic book ad. And look, a comic book convention. Go to your comic book conventions. Get out there. Hit those dollar bins, And another retelling of, hey, look, Dungeons and Dragons. It's been around for 40 years. And but remember, old fans don't matter. And everything is racist and bigoted and istophoby and problematic. This is another retelling of Spider-Man's origin story. That's the backup tale. You know this story. We all do. This is but it's not a reprint of the old comic. It's written by Roger Stern, pencils by Greg LaRocque, inked by Bob Wiatek, and this is the Jim Shooter days. And I just love this. So this is written by Roger Stern, art by Ed Hannigan, and inked by Jim Mooney. And there's your indicia. Wow, this chef, first time back, and we're already getting long in the tooth, Pico. We got to wrap this up. Thank you so very much for chilling out with us on this Monday, Labor Day. I hope you had a day off. I hope you got paid for it. I hope you're enjoying your last barbecue of the summer season. And for me personally, the school year is starting up this week. First day of classes is Wednesday, and we're getting back into the busy mode at work. And hopefully, we're going to just keep on chugging now that my schedule is back in proper order. I can respect my usual shoot days. And give us a reason to all come here to the Comics Coffee Table, where we pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, and we have a geeky chill stream just talking about our beloved hobby. We talk about comic books. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to earn your subscription. I've said it a few times. I'm a professional chef. I make cooking videos. Wes from Thinking Critical has dubbed me the Sultan of Soup. Get it? Sully? Sultan of Soup? Yep, waka waka. Works for me. I'm a spiritual guy, an ordained minister, hence Reverend Sully. We talk about gratitude and purpose a lot. And we also, if there are planets in the clear sky in the early morning or early evening, I will point them out to you, being like, look, that's the planet Mars. You can see 5 planets with your naked eye. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And I will point them out if there are clear skies. Hashtag naked eye sky. And we do pop culture hot takes, and we talk about funny books. And we're going to talk about comic books, hopefully, every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and you will find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. On behalf of my production company and studio audience, I would like to thank you. So keep tuning in. Tell a friend, bring a friend, and hit the share button on social media too. Pack a lunch. Bring some. What are you drinking in your cuppa today? Let me know in the comment section. It's so good to see everyone, and it's good to be back. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye bye.